Hello viewers, welcome back to the channel and say hello to the brand new Propain Terrel, which is half gravel bike and half mountain bike, and I'm going to review it today. Test it on some trails, gravel, single track and road and see how it performs and whether it's as good as it looks. Since I posted an unboxing video of this a few months ago, link to that down below, I've had loads of questions, loads of comments about when my review is coming out. Well, here it is guys, today, finally. It's taken me a while, I know. I don't know why the bike has prompted so much interest. Maybe it's a price, because the bike costs 2,600 euros and dollars, because Propain are an online company like Canyon and sell direct. To put that price in perspective, a Canyon Grizzle CF SL is £200 more with the same group set, wheels and 9.5 kilogram weight, while the excellent Giant Revolt Advance 2 is £100 more with a 2x Shimano group set and similar features to the Propain. There are some other key differences as well between the three bikes, which we'll explore later. And this is a base model. There are higher models in the range. I'll put a link to their website down below. Check out the full range with better spec and even suspension forks as well. So like I say, a full carbon fiber frame and fork with a big dose of mountain bike inspiration, because Propain are a mountain bike company first and foremost, and this is their first drop bar bike. But borrowed from mountain bikes, we have space for 50mm wide tyres, so lots of clearance around these tyres here, which are 50mm wide. We have down tube storage, increasingly common on mountain bikes. We have a mountain bike inspired geometry, so quite slack, long, low, similar to a Mondraker Arid or a Merida Silex and a BMC ERS as well. And then we have a 1x drivetrain, Shimano GRX with a clutch mechanism to stop the chain slapping around. You can fit a front mech if you prefer, but 1x I think is perfect for this bike. Nice wide range cassette out back. And I like details like the rubber dampening thing on the chainstay to stop the chain smashing into that as well. It's muddy, so I put a mud guard on, a little arse saver mud guard to protect my bum from getting too muddy. Nice dropped top tube, lots of standover clearance, 27.2mm round carbon seat post as well, and a very racy looking saddle from Cell Italia there. Not sure about that at all, but we'll see how we get on. DT Swiss wheels, only the lowly G1800, so not lightweight but reliable. Nice wide alloy rims, hooked as well. It's ticking their bike packing boxes too. Mounts on the fork for cargo, cages there. Top tube for your bag there for food and other stuff. And inside the main frame, there are 4 bolts there for fitting a frame bag. That's kind of cool. Bolt cage mounts, a third one down there. We have, increasingly common, the stealth dropout, so no exposed through axle, just on the fork, but not on the rear end, which is UDH compatible. Another nice detail on the bike is we have a T47 bottom bracket, so oversized but threaded for your easy maintenance at home. Also mentioning the Zip Explore flared drop handlebar there. Nice short stem as well. Semi-internal routing. Hello you, do you want to be on the camera? Hello. Brake hoses and cables are around the handlebar, then go into the head tube there. So yeah, love it or hate it, it's here to stay. It does create a nice clean front end though, so going bike packing, there's no cables getting in the way of your bag. So yeah, looks cool. Let's see how it performs. Let's start with a road test, because I love these bikes for allowing me to easily start a ride from my front door and ride on some roads to the woods where I can get dirty and muddy and off-road. And because it is essentially a fat tired road bike, and lots of people might use it for a road bike, the extra comforts and control from the bigger tyres and the upright geometry. And the bike feels good on the road. It's a nice position, it's not super aggressive and stretched out like a race aero gravel bike. And these tyres roll pretty well despite their big volume. A bit of noise at high speeds, but yeah, they feel okay. The tread pattern is quite closely packed, so they feel pretty good so far. But that's enough road riding. Time to get off-road and find some gravel. And there we go. Gravel found. Well, grassy, muddy, leafy, mulchy. Double track. The bike is no featherweight on the scales, and you can feel the weight at lower speeds a bit when you're trying to get up to speed. That acceleration is dampened a bit. The enthusiasm to get up to speed is held back a bit. The wheels aren't the lightest in the world. I think they're like 1800 grams, 2 kilos off the top of my head. You might recognize the trails. I'm in the Forest of Dean, my local mountain bike trail centre, but surrounded by miles and miles of gravel tracks. Okay, let's try some single track, see how it copes. So this is where the geometry and the big tyres of this bike really come to the fore compared to a roady, aero, race gravel bike. I do know lots of people watching will be saying, you're riding a gravel bike on a mountain bike trail, and I know, but why not? It's fun. Comfort is pretty good actually. We have a skinny seat post, and the company talks about how they've engineered the rear stays to give comfort and compliance and flex and all that sort of stuff. And it seems to be working okay. Front end is quite hard though. Big stout carbon fork, alloy handlebar. Nice thick bar tape on here though. There's quite a lot of energy coming through the handlebars. Now, while I get up the climb, let's talk about how wonderful mechanical shifting is, and GRX in particular. Yes, electronic gears are fantastic and amazing, but mechanical shifting, when it's this good, what more do you need? Nice light lever action. All you have to do is just move your fingers, push that lever, bish bosh, hey presto. Nice ergonomic brake levers, big bulbous hoods as well, which is good when you're rattling down a rough trail. Nice wide range from the GRX 1x2. So I've been riding for a while now, and what's clear to me, as you probably might guess, it's definitely not a race bike. If you're doing Unbound or Tracker, this would not be my first choice. Get something racier, Canyon Grail, Specialized Crux, Ridley Astra. But for hacking around the woods, doing technical trails, really pushing your limits and outside your comfort zone, this bike is definitely right at home, thanks to all the mountain bike inspiration in terms of geometry. And it is a sweet spot between sort of a gravel drop bar bike and a hardtail mountain bike. And there are some cases where a mountain bike is obviously better, or a racier gravel bike is better. But if you're riding in that sort of middle area between the two extremes, it definitely is a bike that works really well and delivers very impressive performance so far. Now let's do some single track mountain bike trails and see how this mountain bike company's gravel bike performs. 3, 2, 1, go. And straight away, I wish I had a drop of seat post like you get on a mountain bike. Oh, massive puddle there. But it feels good so far. Am I having fun? Nice corner there. I do wish a handlebar was a bit wider with some more flair. It does feel a bit narrow for this bike. It doesn't quite match the geometry of the bike. Nice short stem though. Definitely feeling the slack head angle, but it's steep compared to mountain bikes, but for road bikes it's pretty slack. Nice corner, oh yes, plenty of grip from the tyres. The tyres are really impressed me so far. Luckily the conditions were pretty good, puddles but dry in between. Oh, a bit of squirm there when I lean the tyre over. Wait, oh yes. Oh, it's so much fun. They're carving through the corners. It's quite a bumpy ride though, despite running your tyres at super low pressures. It's not harsh, it's firm. It's a stiff carbon bike, isn't it, after all? Oh, hello mate. Right, so, yeah, it coped okay. Got down there in one piece. Didn't set the Strava leaderboard alight with my time, but I know I had more fun and I was in more control than a racier gravel bike, which is what you want from this sort of bike. And why you choose a bike like this. You are happy to ride occasionally technical trails.
A defining feature of the Propain is the suspension corrected geometry with a longer carbon fork compared to both the Grizzle and Revolt. But thanks to a shorter head tube, the stack height is actually lower than a Giant and only 4mm higher than a Canyon. So while the bike looks high at the front, it's no higher than the two popular gravel bikes. While the Grizzle and Revolt are valid and worthy comparisons to the Propain, the way the bike rides, thanks to the geometry, makes it much better when riding technical trails and definitely boosts confidence in those scenarios. And does remind me more of the Mondraker Arid, the Merida Silex and the Villa Adler, to name a few mountain bike influenced gravel bikes that are bikes built for adventure, bike packing and fun.
Okay, as I reach the end of my route today and start to wrap up this review, let me share some likes and dislikes, and we'll start with the bad stuff first. And there isn't much to say here, but while I was sick a while ago, I lent the bike to a friend who rode it for a few weeks on his local trails through a period of intense rainfall, and he gave me some interesting feedback. Namely that water gets into the frame somehow, and when he removed the hatch here to retrieve an inner tube was wet, suggesting that water is staying in the frame. And I asked Propain about this, and they assure me that there is sufficient drainage designed into the frame with holes around the bottom that water retention in this way shouldn't be an issue. But that's something that definitely happened. I have to share it with you. It might just be a blip, it might be a longer term issue. But on the positives is the way the bike rides. If you're not smashing a long distance at high speed and you're riding fun trails and you're riding at a more kind of not leisurely pace, but you're enjoying the view, the trails as much as the distance, then the geometry here definitely makes it a more fun bike to ride when riding tricky technical trails, which I like to do on the bikes. And I was super impressed with these Schwalbe G1 Overland tyres. 50mm wide, nice low pressures, good comfort, lots of traction, despite the tread pattern not being the most sort of aggressive and chunky. And they cope pretty well in the mud. I think the extra volume helps them cope in the slipperier, boggier sections. And space for a mountain bike tyre, which I might try in a future episode. Hey, it's so much fun. Whoa, it's there. Right. Whoa. Just don't have that suspension to soften the landings when you get air. Move your arms and elbows and bend your legs. I'm missing a drop of seat post though. Nice powerful brakes. Whoa. Trust me, it feels faster than it looks. I'm not totally sure how much grip I have in your tyres in the muddy corners. Hey, hello. I got bumpy down there, braking bumps. Oh, it feels quick, it feels fast. Oh, that's bumpy. Oh, yeah, suspension fork, I think that's the next upgrade for this bike. Oh, for this ride anyway. Oh, and maybe I was getting too old. Oh. Yeah, this way the bike is most at home. Right, let's wrap things up on a Propain Terrel then. And there's a lot to like. If you're not riding for speed or ultra distance and you are riding for fun on a range of trails, road, gravel and technical trails, the bike is a lot of fun. And the geometry and the fit is arguably better for that style of riding than a racier, road focused gravel bike. There's not a lot to dislike on this bike. It's good value for money. You're getting a lot of bike for the money. And this is a base model. There are higher level models if you want to spend more money. And the seat post and saddle give reasonable comfort through the back end, and the Shimano GRX gearing works well All the gears I need, good high end, low end, no real issues with cadence steps either. And I like the down tube storage and all the bike packing mounts. And then the weight. I'm not a weight weenie, but I wish it was a bit lighter. I think the wheels and the cassette could be lightened. And I think a wider, shallower, flared drop handlebar would better suit the character, the riding intention of the bike than this setup here. That's fine on my Specialized Crux or a more road focused gravel bike, but here I think one of those, like a Ritchie, I forget the name now, like a mad, wide, shallow flare drop handlebar would suit the bike better and give you more control when you are doing the mountain bike trails. But there is lots of exciting upgrade potential here, and I'm excited to try and make some changes to the bike, namely some bigger, chunkier mountain bike tyres. And since we have a suspension corrected geometry with a long fork, maybe try a suspension fork. Not trying to make the bike better, but really to personalize it for the riding I think the bike is really designed for. And that's really something exciting about the bike, and gravel bikes in particular, is there's no one type of bike that's right for everybody. It depends on you, your riding style, where you ride, and what sort of riding you do. And I think the bike is a good starting point to really take it to somewhere else. So yeah, really fun bike. Fun, definitely a word for this bike. Let me know if you have any questions or things I've not covered in the review by dropping a comment down below. I'll do my best to answer them. And I'll put a link to the company's website down below if you want to find out more, see the full range. And this video, remember, not sponsored by Propain at all. They have no say in the video. They haven't seen the video before it goes live. It's all my own unbiased, independent thoughts on the bike and how it compares to other bikes in a space, of which I have ridden many. And you see some of those bikes by watching the video right up there somewhere. And of course, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting that round button right there. But I'm off for another spin before the sun sets, so I'll see you all again very soon. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all again very soon.